Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Mijn naam is Viggy. En ik maak live videos. Mostly of Yiddish. Waarom fangt toen de handige, nachtige, experimental video? Het gaan we leren de dag. Ik weet niet wat we gehabt. That's what we're gonna do. Sam, wham bam. Hello and welcome. How you doing? How was your Shabbos? How was your weekend? Ik heb ook vorige woche zijn broer de DAF zag. Zo heb ik gefigured. Ik was niet erover maar maken dat kleine verhandige talk. Had ik de eerste talk van voetbal. De reason ik weet is, weil ik speel fantasy voetbal. Hold on. Tipoide. Hello and welcome. We got a new person, got a new viewer, a new commentator. Gang 98. Shulam. How you doing? Aflamech. Hakol beseder. Immer net richtle. Hagid masho. Wat ik dat heb zeggen, ja? It's all good. Zum Beispiel haben wir eine neue Sache. To learn on the DAF. Crazy stuff. Sally, hello and welcome. How was your day? How was your weekend? How was your Shabbos? How's it going? Yankee T. Hello, Yankee T. Brooklyn. We got the names here. We got everybody in the house. How's everybody's day? Ze gaat aan een kleine live aan. Ze gaat nog aan de DAF. I can't even imagine als hier zo is. Ik kijk me gespiegeld en I'm like, what happened to Viggy? Was is geschehen? Wat? Hey, how you doing? Dus is geschehen. Zijn we umgekommen? Zijn we umgekommen? Zijn we doen even een paar minuten erin. Ik ben gegaan back and forth with myself. Zie je zo onheiben. Dus ga je met de dag of de blijven jeden dag whatever day is. So I guess jeden dag ga je met de day what it is. Voor nu Hebreeuws. Gang 98, you'll have to gang yourself up. Solution koidisch met dat twist. Ellie, Joel. Bist naidu, von wie checkst du an? Hello and welcome. Wie wo's wen, von wie checkst du an? In auch het, wie sie heißt? Zipporah, von wie, wo's wen wie? Von wie kommt Zipporah? Wo ist du Zipporah? Wer du Zipporah? Kommt und checkt an. You might be an old viewer, but new commenter, you know. We lost the lottery, or better, we just didn't win. Sind nicht gewähnt, in sie verlieren in the first place. Wir können es nur gewinnen. KJ. Nice. Hello and welcome, Ellie. Es ist echt nicht gechillig für wie man checkt heran. To be quite honest, it's just you know. Wenn du weggesagt von der Welt bist, Weil das hat man im Rim sehr locker und das ist Gang 98, checkmate. Checkmate. It was Sally from her daughter's account. Choilius. Yankee T. Choilius. We never know. We truly never know. Das ist die Sache. Sie kennen alles ein Mensch. Und lag daran mit multiple accounts. Sundays usually I talk with the guy in live, but was ich angemischt du mit dem Duffel. Jetzt bin ich schon so wie Pat committed oder something. Ich bin schon Pat committed. This is what she said. What was that? Oh. I see what happened. Okay, I see what happened. Thank you, Yankee. כל הסאטמרים אומרים, זה לא שין קודש. מה זה? מדבר את הברית בלשון קודש. Penny, hello and welcome. How was your Shabbos? How was your weekend? Yeah, it is a surprise. It's mir gegangen auf den Nerven, die Dav-Sach. So I was like, you know what? Ich habe es da geredet mit Chushewe Menschen. And we were like, just go live, give us a watch, finish it and fertig. Was kann ich sagen? What about yesterday's Dav? I was thinking about it as ich soll spielen catch-up, but then I was like, no, I'm not gonna go. Just gonna keep going. Viggy got addicted? No. Ich hätte sagen, eine kleine Party, als es nur 14, like, it's only a very short time, so if I want to chicken out, it's not really chickening out, if you know what I'm saying. It's the yom. Yes. Agreed. We doen uit mijn A10. 5 minuten met mijn onuiten. And it's funny. Like, Penny, trust me. Als ik gooi de shirik, wat er gelacht van dit. Gooi de shirik, wat er gewoon like, I'm not sure what's happening. But, you know. You never say never, as they say. Play the song for Levi Volkovich. Okay, camera man they do. Third Jordan will come out. Okay, jetzt gehen wir raus in der Levi Volkovich's Video. Und noch gehen wir jetzt herantanzen. Thank you, Gang 98. Thank you, much appreciated. Okay, jetzt gehen wir runter mit Levi Volkovich in Meilich Borenstein. Der Nigen heißt Viggy. Oh, es ist der Weiner. Ich habe gemeint, es ist der zweite Bernstein. Es ist nicht kein Negative, es ist just, wer ist. Finde ich schon zurück, 5100 Views. Ich habe schon ausgehört für ihr, so. Sonst gehen wir noch mit dem, und nachdem fuhren wir dann rüber zu The Duff, mit Ending mit The Duff. Nicht geklappt, dass wir hier sagen, but hey, never say never. Let's get into it. Der Mal ist, als ich schon gehört den Ding, und nicht gewatcht das Video, so. Penny, you'll get your work done, Penny. Sehen wir der Herzlichen ankommen.
Die Ostens beschaffen, wo sind's glisten in Daffen, das sei dir Habri.
Oh, that's nice.
Is da.
Okay, it's a little CGI, but... Shia Friedman, hello and welcome.
Die Teure ist dann Wiele, als in Sollen Fehlen. Der Avoite ist man.
Shine coloring the video.
De Tarja gitten, de Tarja.
Ich kann nicht lieb den Weg, wie sie kicken mit den Augen, da wenn er ankicken in die Kamera.
Man avoide in dan brie is nicht grieg. Ich kenn nicht allein, trug mich auf dan Pleize.
Live is Shine harmonizing.
Shamru nafshi, wie du mit am Melech ich sie.
This was nice. Du wird am Melech mit der. Ich denke schon nicht, wieso das heißt. Sind wir rausgeflogen für den Kopf. Nicht kein Violin. Vergessen die Nummer davon. Was ist Shine, weil das associate mit David Amelech.
Ja heil, ja wohl hiru beide. In seinen du fahre dir in jede Tag.
Nice, Penny.
Jeder von sich hat seine Kaide. In
Oh, es heißt a harp. A harp. Hat er auch geschleppt a Piano dort? Thanks, King.
Ja, du bejautoi, ja, du bejautoi. Wie du bin ich all jetzt
Ich kann nicht determinen, ob sie das ist Greenscreen oder das ist ein Attack in the Park.
Ja, du jetzt atoi, ja, du jetzt atoi.
So shine transitions. Whoever gehabt the video is ganz gut.
Ja, du the Juven call jetzt Kia tu jetzt atoi, Kia tu jetzt atoi.
Schau, ich bin ein bisschen critical dort, so ich weiß nicht. But ich meine, ich mag mal Mood nicht gewähnt dort, so. Ich liebe die less music, und ich kann sound so wie einer in einer verstippten Bar ergens. A live band.
Hashem Elokai Yisru Ayomelech Imalchiso Bakoil Mushur V'yoymar V'yoymar Kol Hashem Neshom Neshom Be'apoy
Der Nigen hat herrliche Parts für harmonisen.
Hashem Elokai Yisru Ayomelech Imalchiso Bakoil Mushur Hashem Elokai Yisru Ayomelech V'yimalchiso Bakoil
Okay. Nicht kein schlechter Song, aber man darf es aussehen a couple of times, bis man kann mitsingen. It's a regular song, but yet complicated. Darf es aussehen a couple of times. Nicht schlecht. Nicht schlecht. Shia, ich hätte sagen, ich habe gemacht die Review, but the problem mit a Review ist, das hat auch zu tun mit meinem Mood. So, and I felt a bit off. Und ich will nicht damals rausgeben ein Video, wie ich stand Pupu a Video. Kein sonst nicht so schlecht. Ich will es bekicken und kein sonst mit das releasen. Ich kann nicht gesagt, die bist innerweinig, wenn ich weiß, wenn, like to see ein bisschen biases, you know? In a positive way. Es ist sehr schein and emotional, yeah. It's auch simple. The gas, the wind, you know. It was very nice, that video. Darf es aber auch sehen a couple of times until you actually get it. So man halt hand, man geht unheim der Daf. Heute ist Daf 6. Let's get into it. Just gotta do Shia's part. Shia, schick mir dann the part, wie die bestimmt. Hold on.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Live from the Kinar. Read it. Ibaylu.
Hold on.
Close before Shlomo for Shlomo Ben Yamin. Halevi Ben Rivka. No better way to ask for it.
Family B.
Baruch Hashem. Monthly sponsors TCS Israel Power. We're talking to read it. Ibaylu. I mean, when I know the face now, I was just reading.
The picture of Zeitlin by the seal.
Okay, jetzt gehen wir unheim für unheim. Fertig. The 59 minutes, let's do this.
Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Live from the Kinar in Tveria on the Kinneret. What a Shabbos, what a Shabbos. Bemis. Tremendous chizuk. I want to give thanks to the
Selin, sind wir unheim für unheim.
For Shlomo for Yonatan Eitan Ben Mashav Bracha, who's been Shabbos with us, and he's here this morning in the Beis Medrash. Yosef Chaim Ben Dvar Chai Golda, by Adar Global, and L'Schus Vatzavos Kol Yeladim B'Shana Krova B'Sheva Shel Parnasa. It is hilarious, but this was a moving email. When I read it, I cried to myself. This is long, it does not have to be read, but I want you to know how DAF is changing families. As I wrote to you previously, I was diagnosed with a very bad machla and prognosis last year. Last February 2024, my son, who was 12 at the time, came home and said, Dad, want to learn Daf Yomi with me? And I said, what do you know about Daf Yomi? And he said, a few kids in the bus do it. And there's a WhatsApp group with some of the Rebbeim. This is the community modern Orthodox yeshiva that had 14 kids to do makis. I said, embarrassingly, I'm an anchor, not a chavrusa, and dropped out of 2 cycles already. Don't let me hold you back. After some back and forth, he said, I can wait until Sanhedrin. I don't know what that means. He unfortunately, the last time we caused a sleepaway camp, but picked up right. Oh, he said he can't wait until Sanhedrin because he started right away. He got other friends and me to join Sanhedrin. He asked my in-laws for his bar mitzvah gift to get him an art scroll shas. Many nights, there's pictures of him. You'll see so many nights we did it together.
Shia, yeah, it's a marungo in manayazach.
Before he went to bed, he would ask if I did the daf. If I said no, he would say to me, did you find time to go on your phone? And how many hours did you spend on it? He wasn't wrong. Unfortunately, I fell out and said I would catch up. And he always said, don't try to listen to Rebelli. Just start again with today's daf. Of course, I know more than a 13-year-old, but I proved myself wrong. My son and his best friend, Eitan, finished Shavuos with daf, the third Masech on June 19th, the night of their 8th grade graduation. And Eitan was the valedictorian. So the valedictorian speech from the 8th grader included a shout-out to MDY and a hadron. Wow. Before the summer, he made me promise we would start with his art together. The first day was a Friday. I was in NYU hospital for a bunch of appointments all day and got back a little before Shabbos. My son said by dinner, "Did you do the daf?" I said, "No." He said, "You can't miss day one." I said, "I'm falling on my face and exhausted. If I open the daf, I'll fall asleep." He looked at me and said, "Let's bench. Then come to my room. The Shabbos lamp is on. I already watched the shir, and you lay in my bed, and I'll get an art scroll and read it and explain it to you until you fall asleep." We made it through the whole daf in about an hour with lively discussion, and then I fell asleep. The next morning during davening, I was covered in tears.
Nice. So,
Asking Hashem.
finish jede Nacht. Just hands on we're playing catch up in a sense. Es ist in the free between 10:30 to 11:30, be'erach, so far.
Why deserve kids like this? Even while I type this, tears are falling. My wife told my son, "Don't worry.
Mastermind.
When you leave for camp, I'll watch with daddy every
Hello,
day until you
welcome.
come back." This past summer, my son said he'll not fall back over the summer, and he brought the art school and we donated 4 brand new iPads and cases and headphones for the camp, for the Bismedrash, with all the daf on them. Unfortunately, my son came home early due to needing surgery on his foot. Camp, you know? And even on crutches and 5 days in the hospital, we never missed a daf. His Hebrew name is Hill, and I made fun of him. He was learning the daf on one foot with his crutches and a knee on a scooter. Maybe it's like the Hill, that's what he means? Torah Regalachas. Ari is it? What are you telling me Ari's not here? You just have to hear him, you don't have to know where he is. Okay, so he says like this: we watch in the car as a family. Some days we watch over dinner, many nights. We watch on the boat, we watch on the couch, we watch in bed. We invited all of West Hempstead, MDY, for a watch party and see him dinner. There's a picture. He gives my 2 other sons, 12 and 10, to do Harias. And today, when I came home from chemo, the 2 of them, after the first day of school, were on the couch watching Daf Bays. So much more I would love to share with you. Attached are a few pictures, including one sent to me from the assistant director of camp who caught my son learning at 1 a.m. after a full day trip. His goal for the last 2 years has been to go to the live stream at Shemesh, but because of transplant list restrictions. But I promised him, as long as the next time we go to Israel, I am a passenger in the cabin and not in cargo, we will go to the Kotel and then to the Shir. On behalf of Hunter, Hill David, Zelton's dad, his friend doing the daf, Eitan, Netanel, Kobe, Israel, Dani, and our whole family, thank you. Here he is, the tzaddik. Look at this. Doing the daf at 1 a.m. And here's, no, not that one. There's another picture. Oh, didn't make it in, Kobe. Okay. There's another picture. I'll show Kobe working here all night. This is in the hotel. Okay. All right. It's given a good Shabbos. It was good. Wonderful Shabbos. Givaldi. Thank you for coming all the way from America. I want to stop at the Bas Mitzvah also. Listen, we know why you really came. And Shemi Braun all the way from America. Mark Ashkenazi all the way from America, but he has to come. Listen, he's unpaid staff. Unpaid staff have to pay for the flights and come. What do you mean? That's the way it works.
Yossi Klein also came from.
Oh, really? Chiddush. The Baal Simcha himself, he came. All right. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Moiri. I tried to only read one email. It's already 8 minutes into the year. What's going on here? Dedicated in memory of Moiri, Shmuel Baruch Ber Chaim Tzvi Doiv. The Masechta sponsor anonymous. That's the Brookside. We got you. Schools of Israel. Jogi Das. Leadership. My father, Jackie Dalius. Co-sponsor monthly. Anonymous from London. Batzlocha Bernaso. Main. Weekly. Anonymous. Schod before Shlomo Ben Yomin. Halevi Ben Rivka. No better way to ask for it. Baruch Hashem. Monthly sponsors TCS Israel Power Talking. Anonymous. Before Shlomo. Sorry about Rav and Shir Bat Sarah. Aaron Kessler. In honor of the marriage of my son and my daughter. And I relocated to Eden Gardens in Orlando, Florida. Daily sponsors Joe and Galia Berry. Celebrating our 47th wedding anniversary. Mazel tov. Who came over to us? Whose celebration was it? 50, 60? Who was it? Where is he? Did he really? He came to us? I thought I saw him this morning. Not here? What? 60th anniversary, right? Somebody celebrated. Rabbi Yitzchak celebrated 60th anniversary of the Shabbos. Got him a cake, the whole thing. Shlomi and Chani Klein, in honor of the wedding of our dear children Zalmi and Rachel. She's going to live in his Bais Nami Yisrael. Anonymous, celebrating my parents' 51st anniversary. L'schus Avi, Rishmai Tzvi Ben Gittel V'imi, Chai Rivka Bas Rachalea. Many, many more. Lagi Yared, anonymous, in honor of Rebellion and Moshe Einhorn. I learned 7 Blat Shabbos afternoon. Unbelievable. Thank you. Anyway, Art. Monthly Refuah Shleima, if you don't have Natan Bebe Bracha, Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Sayela, now that we say that there's a little bit of difference. Shlomi Klein.
From Nights.
Where? Where do you see that? Shlomi and Chani Klein.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me. It didn't say Shlomi Klein. It said Shlomi and Chani Klein. I was thrown off. In honor of the wedding of our dear children Zalmi and Rachel. She is going to live noise by his name Yisrael Ben Shlomi Mazel Tov. Shkoyach. Thank you for. I mean, when I know the face, now I was just reading.
The picture of Zeitlin by the seal, the voice.
That was missing.
Yeah. Let me
Oh,
go
nice.
back.
Right at the front of that.
Visas gewesen.
Okay, it's not in there yet.
Family
That's
B.
interesting. I see something. To be continued. Everybody, here we go. 15 lines from the bottom. Who did I skip?
Wie Shabbos.
What do you mean?
The bottom,
No. I went back to read it. Ibaylu. What did I say? 20 lines from the bottom? I don't remember. 18 lines. Ibaylu.
Just how much Shabbos is there?
They said Tashma.
Penny, that's the guy by the tir, all the way in the back. What about him?
Just to refresh everybody's memory, today's more of a Geshmak Daf. Yesterday was slightly dry, on the dry side, I would say. We had a three-way machlekes. How many karbanos do you bring when Klal Yisrael does an Aveira? According to the mayor, only one. Provided he has a few rules, but if most of the Shvatim do the Aveira and most of the community does the Aveira, then you bring only one. Rabbi Yehuda says you bring one for each Shevet, and Rabbi Shimon says you bring one for each Shevet plus one for the Bezdin. In general. Iboilu. Shevet Echad Shasek Bayraz Bezdin Agadol. Going in Rabbi Shimon, when Rabbi Shimon says that in addition to all the Shvatim bringing a carbon, the Bezdin also brings a carbon, but we're talking about in the Mishnah, if the local Bezdin tells them, what happens if the Sanhedrin passes to do an Aveira, you can do an Aveira, and only one out of the 12 Shvatim does the Aveira?
You can't see the daf. Now what should I do? What should I do, huh?
What's halacha? L'Reb Shimon mi ma'isi aloi. Do you bring a carbon or not? Tashma mahi mevim. Now this is a riddle. What is the case exactly? What do they bring? In what case? I don't know. We can figure it out ourselves maybe. They bring par echad. Reb Shimon mishnei parim. Reb Shimon says 2. Now what in the world is going on here? Think about it. Look at this list over here. It says if 7 shvatim did an aveira, every single shevet brings, that means 12 plus 1 equals how many? 13. Over here it says Reb Shimon mishnei parim. How do you get from 13 to 2? What happened?
Sadly,
that only one shevet did the Aveira, and that's how you get the 2. One shevet plus the Bezdin equals 2.
Brooklyn.
Shnei parim, asking Gemara, Shemona boy. If 7 did an Aveira, then it equals 8. 7 Shvatim plus the Bezdin has to bring 1, that's 8. Elo dechad shevet echad. The Gemara does a simple calculation. Must be it's only one shevet. Umay. Now, why did they do an Aveira? Did the local Bezdin tell them to do an Aveira, or Sanhedrin said? Either Meraz Beis Dinoi, if it's Bezdin, the local Shimon Leslie, he doesn't hold to that. Now we discussed yesterday.
Thank you, Sally.
Local Bezdin doesn't do anything. You need Sanhedrin to go. Elo Meraz Bezdin Agadol. Okay, so we have the Bezdin Agadol. V'tizber Tanakama Mani, and who's the Tanakama? Who says 1? Remeir is 1, right? Look at the chart. Remeir holds 1, but Remeir says you need Roiv Kahal, Roiv Shvatim. By the way, you cannot sit in front of me and play on your phone. That's one of the rules. If I didn't say it yet, it just became one. V'tizber
rules.
V'tizber Tanakama Mani, and by the way, you cannot, if you can't sit in front, make a kavachaymer. Here, simple kavachaymer. If you cannot sit in front of, at least the fans can play on your phone. So you can't sit in front of the Rebbeinu Shalom and play on your phone.
Oh.
I just felt it. It feels very, very not nice. Guys going like this, like Kilo, you're a nothing, and my phone is more important than you. That's what it felt to me. Imagine what it feels to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Elul. Sorry for the Moser. I didn't want to be insulted. Huh? Oh, I have my own. I'm going to write to you. I'm insulted. I don't know where to write it to, but okay. Says Gemara. It's worse than the guy. Well, maybe not. That guy that does Shnai Mikra in front of the guy that gives a speech Friday night. I don't like him.
Oh, nice.
It's not nice. The guy spends so much time preparing. He said he goes in front of a mirror, back and forth, the whole thing. He finally gets the shul. He's all proud. Just like, okay, whatever. It's everybody's shul, just my shul, huh?
Oh, wow. Sarozi came on a vessel.
Sleep? I don't know. They're both.
Okay,
one is b'shegig. I have no idea where I am. Have a wonderful. Wow. Okay. Look what you did. Look what you just did. Fine. Next. No, because during the day nobody's in front of me. They're on the side. So sometimes they're on the phone. It's like in front. You know what I'm saying? Where are we? Oh, Homani. Ireb Meir Haruba Boy.
Wenn du kann man sehen, als wenn die T-Steps in front von einem kann es better, no matter how gitty it is.
Again, simple stuff. I know that it looks confusing, but there was the whole daf yesterday. According to Remeir, you bring only 1 carbon on condition that you have some sort of majority. 1 shevet is not a majority, so it can't be talking about according to Remeir. Rabbi Yehuda, Shvatim Nami Maisi. Rabbi Yehuda holds, okay, you can bring it for 1, but all the Shvatim at the end of the day are going to have to bring a carbon. You never end up with 1 according to Rabbi Yehuda. Why? Because a greater. Remember, 1 does the Aveira, but everybody has to be Mishnativ also. So it must be Rishon ben Elazar who argues. According to him, you only bring 1. Look at the Sanya, like we learned. Fine. So according to Rishon ben Elazar, 1. According to Rishon ben 2. Tashma. According to Chachamim, at the end of the Mishnah, only if there's a psak from the Sanhedrin. You can't be Remeir because Remeir holds you need most of the Shvat and most of the Kahal. You see Rishon holds 1 shevet brings a carbon. 1 carbon. Or actually 2, he says. 2. 1 for the Bezdin and for the shevet. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon, shevet echad ikri kamen olu. How do we know?
We kennen John, I feel as a mensch wie ihm, kenne ich always in a gita mood. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. You're kleine snappelt. Snappy.
That you bring for 1 shevet, you bring for 7 shvatim. It must be that each shevet is called a kahal. Amri, the Siva Yamid Yoshavit B'Kahal Yehuda. You see that Yehuda is called a kahal. 1 shevet is a kahal. Rabbi, so where's that air conditioner? I think we need the air conditioner. No? Whoever, they turned it off for me, but now I'm starting to get a shtickle. Oh no, and then you probably have to turn this vent off, whatever. Who turned it off?
Turn it back on.
The whole thing is on. It has 4 vents, but one is pointing. Okay, leave it like this. I'll tell you when it gets too cold.
This one inside here?
Yeah, it just got too cold. No, this one, right over here. Just step on the thing, please. This one, just push it up. Oh, that's it. Perfect. Shkoyach. Rabbi say Avi Kamiansky. Shkoyach. You made it.
Benny, the guy with the cap left.
Look, I'll say this. Avi, you supported the Shabbos, so you don't know. You'll never know what kind of chizik you gave people. There's people, I saw with my own eyes, people with tears rolling down their face. I saw young people and I saw older people. I saw a guy in his 80s, tears coming down his face. Famous. So nobody's going to come to you and say, oh, thank you for the tears and the chizik and this. Man, I'm telling you, you don't know what chizik. Chizuk for the whole year.
The sheet is in Bet Shemesh?
So it says that one Shevet Yehuda is called the Kahal. HaChadasha, Yerushalayim, and the new Yerushalayim. My Chadasha. What's Chadasha doesn't mean new. Chadasha is the melashon of a chidush, a new concept. A what? A tful yoy. What's a tful yoy? Somebody who was toivel in the mikveh and it still has to wait until nightfall in order to be completely tar. Al yikonis b'machne leviyah. So first of all, what's machne leviyah? Don't come into here. So there's 3 camps. The machne shechina is the Beis Hamikdash. Machne leviyah is the whole Har Bayis, and then you have machne Yisrael, which is Yerushalayim. In our case specifically, although it's not really mentioned, it's not so much referring. I think the article says it means the whole Har Bayis. My chavrusa tain is that it's more like the Ezras Nashim, I think. Okay. Whatever. I go with the article. It's safer.
It's safe.
Although he edited our English Gemara, the final edit. So. How do you know that Kahal means 1? Because of Yehuda, if it's already talking about Yerushalayim has 2. It has Yehuda and Binyamin. So perhaps Kahal means 2. So just remember that. Put that in your memory for 10 seconds. That a Kahal means minimal 2. Maybe 1, but 2. What? 5, but it doesn't mean 10. You can have a Kahal that means maximum 2, minimum, maybe 1, maybe 2.
Anybody can go in family B? Like
what, in general or over here? Okay, yeah,
we're not going to that. We're not talking
about a rabbi. He stuck that in.
Meaning,
I'm going to make you into Kahal Amim. I'm going to make you into a nation. Who is he referring to? Binyamin. So you see that one Shevet. Binyamin is considered Kahal. Rahman is what the Torah meant. Now you can have a new nation. This is what the Torah meant. When Binyamin will be born, Hashem is telling him you're going to have Shevet Binyamin. And what's going to happen? Then you'll be a nation. Asking we just established that a kahal is 1, maybe 2. So how are you telling me that Hashem meant that if you have 12, then you're going to be a nation? Even 2 is a nation. What 12? When the Levim start the avodah, they bring 2 cows, 1 as a chadas, 1 for oila. In the lamin shem shnayim to teach me that you have to bring 2 value for them. There's another pasuk. If I say so, echad chadas, 1 is a chadas, is a chadar Hashem. So why does the Torah have to repeat to parsheni ben bakar, the second one? Take 2. Now there's a rule. Some of you were here last night, so you know the rule, so don't cheat. There's a rule. When you have a chatas, typically the kohanim eat from it. Part of it goes in the mizbech, part of it they eat. How do you know if a chatas can be eaten or not? So you look at where you spray the blood. If you spray the blood inside means in the heichal, in the tall structure with the menorah, with the shulchan, and there's a mizbech over there, mizbech haktoyers. If you sprinkle the blood over there, then you know you don't eat it. And if you sprinkle the blood on the regular mizbech, you know you do eat it above the red line, then you eat it. These parim that the Levim bring, you sprinkle the blood outside on the mizbeach hachitzon, which means that what? You could eat it. How do I know in this particular case you cannot eat it? That's the Gemara's kash. Let's explain what the Gemara's kash is. L'chari, you should be able to eat it because if you go by the rules, this is the type of chatas you should be able to eat. Find a line on Hamid Beis. It's second to oila. In other words, it's like an oila. This bull that should be eaten, special halacha now, you don't eat it. Let's see where the pasuk is. Here we go. We're going to be using this pasuk a little bit, not too much, but it's good to get familiar with it. 96 and 77, and it says Hakoil Oila. Should have had it in the pasuk, but all at the end it says Hakoil. Everything's Oila. Asking Gemara, what do you mean everything's Oila? It's just Chatas is also like whole Koila. It's like it has a loch of Oila.
Brooklyn, finden wir sagen, das für uns tut, sie mithalten dort live? Nah.
The famous halacha of oila, nobody touches oila. It's called Hashem. The whole thing goes to Hashem. These particular chatos are not eaten. The reason why you don't eat it, the Gemara gives us a little shot over here. Because what does it come to atone? What does it come to be mechaper? It comes to be mechaper for avodah zarah. So avodah zarah is something we don't touch. Just leave it on the mizbeach and shalom Yisrael. Whatever this are. 70 years ago, when Klal Yisrael, by the first Churban, they did Avodah Zarah in Tzidkiyahu's days, we're coming to be Mechaper the Avodah Zarah. So we have a very nice discussion here. 70 years ago. That means we're not being Mechaper for a 1-year-old that did Avodah Zarah 70 years ago. We're Mechaper for who? For someone who's at least Bar Mitzvah. Total of 83-year-olds. That's the minimum. The minimum of that generation was somebody who was 13 years old, so he's 83 years old today. No, but more likely, he was 25 years old, and Mamela, he is more like 95, 97, 100. Kids are not really around. Very, very simple cheshbon. Everybody remembers the 3 shitas. According to Meir, how many parim do you bring if there's Klal Yisrael is a big avero? Because how many parim do you bring? According to Meir, Rabbi Isai, 1. According to Rabbi Yehuda, all the shvatim did the avero. How many chatos do you bring? 12. According to Rabbi Shimon, 13. It's 12 plus 1. So let's go. What's the cheshbon here? How in the world did they bring 96? How do you get to 96? 77, 96. These are crazy numbers. We don't have 96 shvatim. If it's 12 shvatim, 12 karbanas. What's 96? Oh. Says the Gemara, well, wait a minute. Maybe I jumped a little bit. Wait for that for a second. How do you get to 12? 12 shvatim did Avera, you bring 12. The Ma'aseh Shnei Inami, the Chodesh Shiva shvatim, or 7 did Avera.
Bin ich einer, was kenne ich so gut Hebrew? Can mithalten mit der Shir?
Or Enoch B'Grira. Yehuda holds a greira that if even 7 did the Avera, all 12 have to bring. According to Reb Shimon, it must be, how do you get to 12? According to Reb Shimon? According to Reb Shimon, how do you get to 8? 7 plus 1. How do you get to 12? 11 plus 1. Not 12 plus 1, 11 plus 1. That's how you get to 12. According to Reb only 1. How do you get to 12? Says the Gemara, they did 12 Averas. A little silly, but if you don't know what it looks like, something like this.
What's happening?
I'm talking about Tzirim. And then he does tshuva. I don't know why, but okay. I guess he had to break the... Was that a meme? What's it called when it keeps on going in a reel?
GIF.
A GIF.
There you go, it's a GIF.
Oh,
the Sky DJ.
Oh,
I don't welcome.
So he brings a lot of karbanos with him, I hear. Okay. Atres is Zimni. He did it 12 times. Just ask the Gemara. But all the generation of Tzidkiyahu, these people are dead already. It was 70 years ago. The youngest, the baby, was 13 years old, and they're not around anymore. You're right. Let's say they're dead. But you can still bring a chatos for a person who's dead if it's part of a tzibur. Why? Because we're going to see in a second, but it's kedai to be... You guys remember the simon of all the chatos that die? The 5 chatos that die? What is it? You know? Betimna. Betimna, close enough. Simna and timna. Vitimna. So Vlad chatos, let's go over quickly. The chatos is offspring. So if a female chatos, they're usually female. The female chatos got pregnant after she's a chatos, so her offspring is not allowed to be a chatos, and it can't be regular chulin, so Mela dies. Tomorrow's chatos, if you do a switcheroo, you designated one animal as a chatos, then you took another one, you made that a chatos, dies. Chatos shemesu b'leil, and if this is the one we're looking for. Chatos shemesu b'leil, if the owner...
But when geht daran, welche graphics zu machen? The graphics artist darf auch het kennenlernen? You know what I mean?
If the owner dies before he's able to bring it as a carbon, that carbon can no longer be brought, it must die. So over here, if Klal Yisrael died from the generation of Tzidkiyahu, they're no longer alive, how do you bring it? The answer is because it's a tzibur. It's for the community. If the community brings, they could all die and we still bring their carbon. Listen to this lashon. I see it looks like that's how we paskin. There's no death for the community. Even though it happened hundreds of years ago, there's no death for the community. Another Papa, how do we know this idea? Because it says in the pasuk that the children should be instead of their father. It doesn't say in the pasuk anything about a tzibur. This can be referring to also an individual. So based on this, if an individual dies after he designated a carbon chatas, the child should bring the carbon chatas. Perhaps he learns it from Rishchaydish. Torah says, who pays for the soyer, the carbon of Rishchaydish? The communal fund, the maxis shekel that we bring 3 times a year in the Beis Hamikdash, we take from that, and we designate it for the Tamid, and in this case for the Rishchaydish carbon. No. So who paid for it? All of Klal Yisrael. So some of the people died right before Rishchaydish. And it comes out that you're bringing a carbon from somebody that's dead. One of the partners is no longer alive. So it's a raya that a community could bring a carbon even when people die. The people that are left over, how do they bring this carbon? You see from here that you could bring a carbon tzibur even though the owners are no longer with us. Says the Gemara, midami. What's the raya? Sorry, perhaps nobody died. There's no force to say that people died. You can't bring a raya from there. Maybe nobody died. But over here in the generation of Tzidkiyahu, they definitely are no longer alive. At least a lot of them aren't. At least one of them, yeah. In a span of 70 years, somebody must have died. In 70 years. Forget about 70 days. 70 years. Somebody died. A lot of people died. Most of them died. Maybe all of them died. Hello, this is Moira Dig. Rabbi, I was waiting the whole year for this line right over here. It says in the pasuk, Kaper la'amcha Yisrael shepodiso Hashem. When
sucht derselbe lines über wenn macht the Hebrew one.
We find a body between two cities. We do the Eglah Rufa process and we measure the best of measures. The one that's closest has to bring the calf and they chop and they say these psukim. They say, Kaper la'amcha Yisrael, give a kapara to Klal Yisrael, asher podiso Hashem. The one that you 3,337 you did Yitzias Mitzrayim. And listen to this. The Gemara says, Ru'iyah kapara zu shetechaper al yotzei Mitzrayim. This kapara that we're doing here with the Eglah Rufa is a kapara for those who came out of Mitzrayim. Midasiv asher podiso. So in fact, the Meritz Chayus says from over here is a source for Yizkar, because it's problematic. How in the world, as a child of a deceased, and it's like something that Klal Yisrael was very makbid on. Even people are not so affiliated, they come to shul for Yizkar. It's a big thing. Even affiliated people, women come to shul for Yizkar. They won't come the whole year, but Yizkar, chas v'shalom is Yizkar. So what's the idea? We know that you have to accomplish in this world. So what good is it if your son does a little tzedakah, says a little Ili Neshama? That's a big thing. What about it's all over? No. So he says, you see from here, Kapar Lam Yisrael, you can do a kapara on Yotzei Mitzrayim. They died 3,000 years ago, and you're still doing a kapara for them. What's the difference? How are you going to give a kapara? Adarab, fakir. On the kahal, you're going to give a kapara. They're no longer alive. For an individual, maybe I could give a kapara. For the whole tzibur, I don't know. So he says like this. I saw a beautiful pshat from Rabbi Leo Diskin, based on the Rabbi Yisrael Salanter. And it's very negate to us also. Negate to us in a number of ways. First of all, it's Erev Rosh Hashanah. But in general, the daf thing, I think it's very powerful. He asks a kasha, how do you, on Yom Kippur, on Rosh Hashanah, we say we open up the Sifrei Chaim and the Sifrei Mason. What does it mean to open up Sifrei Mason? On Rosh Hashanah, you open up the book of the dead, it's over. When a person dies, there's a hold in Torah, and they ask you, Kavati Tilmud Torah, and how did you do business, and how this and that. And it's over, finished. Then the neshama goes and gets whatever it gets, and that's it. What are you reopening on Rosh Hashanah? Why? What do you gain? What happened in that year that you need to re-evaluate the book? And he says, Mari, that Yisrael Salanter, that you reopen the book because your children have ashpa on your neshama. What you accomplish in this world is constantly updated. How are your children acting after you die? If they learn Torah and they do mitzvahs, then you get awarded for that because you had a positive influence on your children. And if chas v'shalom the opposite, they have to reevaluate. It's unbelievable. They say that Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, he opened up the Musar, he started doing the Musar because he was shocked. One time he was at a wedding, and the Baal Simcha used to be a shoemaker who became very wealthy. And one of the participants at the wedding was a very jealous person. You know how jealous people are. There's no cure for jealousy. They do things, irrational things. Like they don't even know themselves why they do it. They get jealous, and they say and they do. And in the middle of the chuppah, he grabs his shoe, he runs over to the chuppah, and he screams to the Baal Simcha, he says, hey, how much does it cost to repair the shoe? This guy is a wealthy guy, he's a mechubbed, this. He was so shocked at his daughter's wedding, he fell in front of everybody and died from a heart attack. It hurt him so much, the busha. So Yisrael Salanter said, how does a guy act like this? How does a guy ruin somebody's wedding? Forget that. I don't know if he knew he was going to die. I'm sure he didn't. But how do you have a chutzpah in the middle of a wedding to say something like that? He says, we got to teach Musar. And they say, I heard that they said that the Hasidim started their thing because not for the Sandler guy, but for the Baal Simcha. How do you get so insulted? You're supposed to take the shoe and embrace it and say, wow, somebody embarrassed me like that. Akopanim, listen to this. Most of you in this room have brought at least one person to Torah. So when they open up that Sifrei Mason, Lachar Mei V'Esrim, they open it up. They say, look, these are your Talmidim, these are your Tzetzayim. They're still going. You're Noel Mamis. But it's not just your children. It's all the Hashpah that you had in this world. And if you have Hashpah, another two people, and those people bring another people, you yourself can have 400,000 Tzetzayim. That's the Panovich Math, you know? Yeah, all the generations, the future generations, right? Rovei the Schusim. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter said that over there. I just missed that Nekuda. He says we got to open up and see who this guy's great-great-grandfather was 300 years ago. Because something that great-grandfather did and acted had a shpah on his great-grandson 300 years later. And that's the var with the Yotzei Mitzrayim. The reason why there's a dead person here between the two cities is because of how our forefathers acted 3,500 years ago. And that's why Kaper la'amcha Yisrael shepadiso Hashem. They need a kapara. And we're going to try to make something happen for them even though it's 3,000 years ago. Says the Gemara Midami. What's the connection? All the people from the Bezin are standing there. You have the Dayanim, they're all alive, obviously. If they're not alive, they can't be standing. And listen to this, there's a migui, a certain type of migui. How does it work? Since this Eglah Rufa works on these people that are alive standing here, saying these psukim asher padis Hashem, so therefore it has the power to work on the dead. But in our sugya, by tzitkiya, who says this single individual that's alive? Maybe that whole generation is dead. And if the whole generation is dead, then there's nobody to do the migui. You need at least somebody that's alive that could,
Hello
that
and
the kapara
welcome.
works for him, and therefore it will also work for somebody else. But if you have no one that's working on it in the life, so how can it work on the dead? Says Gemara Eino Chanami. So we must say that some of them were alive. It's not so far-fetched. Listen, we have people that went through the Shoah that are still alive today. And that was more than 70 years ago. And they went through it. They weren't 1 year old. So you can have a 95-year-old, a 105-year-old. There's people like that. Okay, Eino Chanami. There are people from Tzidki's generation that survived the 70 years of the Churban. The Siv, and in fact, I'm not guessing it. It says Mefurish in the Pasuk, says the Gemara. Look at the Pasuk. Rabbi Kohanim and Levim, Rosh Hashanah, like they come back. They saw Asher Rose Habayis Harisha and they witnessed the first. I think when I was a kid, I discussed this, right? I think when I was younger, I'm pretty sure I remember people that saw the Chavetz Chaim. This is my father would say, look, that guy met the Chavetz Chaim. Wow, and he'd speak to him. Tell me one thing. No, I don't think they're alive anymore because that was what? Oh, your grandfather. Yeah, your father drove the Chavetz Chaim. Yeah, and you saw your grandfather drove him by the Knesset, right? Yeah, the last one just passed away. He remembered the Chavetz Chaim. That's it. But that's it. It's over. So, but listen to this. It says in the pasuk. So those who remember it was a very weird situation. If we see the camera on the tzibur, and there's some of them that are laughing hysterically with excitement. I'm saying like a simcha g'dayla ad moed, like yesterday during the dancing and everything. And there's those that are sitting there bawling. So what's going on? The ones that are crying remember the first Beis Hamikdash, and the new generation, the youngsters, have no clue. Yeah, like you speak to a 25-year-old, they don't know what September 11th is. They don't know. They have no idea what September 11th is. They might have heard about it once. They didn't go through that. If you were around then, whoever's old enough. No? It was 9/11, September 11th. What? This week. Oh, it's this week. All I remember, I was pretty depressed for months. Months. To see that go down. A New Yorker, you see those towers go down. It was so depressing for months. So those who remember, the new generation, they couldn't care less. Oh, yeah, I heard. It's a history. It's brand new Beis Hamikdash. Wow, we're going to bring karbanas. So they're laughing, they're enjoying. But Akopanim is here in the pasuk, what? That the other generation was there.
It's funny, wegen der 9/11, trachten dich, als er geht an history. Menschen gehen nicht wissen davon.
There were those that were crying. That means they survived all the way to the new Beis Hamikdash. Says okay, they were there, but maybe they were the minority, so they shouldn't be bringing karbanas then. No, no, the ones that were crying, their sound is greater than the ones that were laughing. In other words, they were right. They were a lot. Says Gemara, okay, but anyway, when they did Avodah Zarah, they were doing it on purpose. What do you bring a carbon for Avodah Zarah when you do something on purpose? You don't bring a carbon chatas for a mazid. Says Gemara in Chanami, but it was a special halacha that Hashem said just for that moment, for that day, that if you did Avodah Zarah b'mazid, bring a carbon chatas and you'll get a kapara. You'll get a kapara. And I'll prove it to you, because if not so, how do you get to the 96? How do you get to 77? Says the Vilna Gaon, 96 I could get to, very easy. It's the 12 Shvatim times 8. It's multiplied by 12. It works very nicely. But 77 is the raya. Where do you get to 77? That's an odd number. Yeah, I could say each Shevet brought 8 karbanos for the Avodah Zarah they brought. It makes sense. 12 times 8. Why 8? Kacha. It's a L'Shem, the Zeicher Chanukah that's going to happen in the future. I don't know what. But at least it has something to do with the Shvatim. But how does 77 connect here? So Elamai, Eloi Rashoi, so obviously it was a one-time deal. We don't understand why the number. It was a one-time exception that you can bring these karbanos and you'll have a kapara. Also, one of these riddles, one person from the tzibur dies, you keep on going with the parallel davar. But if one of the 71 of the bezin dies, no parallel davar. Matana, who's the author of this? You got a bunch of freebie. Rebbe Meir he. It must be Rebbe Meir. The Omar bezin mevim v'loy tzibur. He holds you only bring one carbon for the whole tzibur, and who brings it? The bezdin. So one guy from the community dies. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It's not. He doesn't bring it anyway. The bezdin brings it. The whole bezdin is this. He brings. But since the bezdin has to bring the carbon, 71 people bring it. Pturim. What's the pshat? Why would they be potter? You get it? We have halacha that if one of the people that brings the carbon, if you designate a carbon chatas and the person dies, you don't bring the carbon. Over here, the bezdin designated a carbon chatas. 71 people. One of the 71 people died. He's one of the partners. You can't bring it anymore. Why do you have to say that goes according to Rebbe Meir? Say it goes according to Rebbe Shimon. Why? The bezdin im hatzibur. That he says the combination. There's 2 karbanos, one for the shevet and one for the bezdin. But if one of the people of the
Herrsche, jeder einer hat sich gesagt, es hat umgekommen.
dies, you keep on bringing the carbon. Why? Because we already established Ein Tzibur Mason. There was an aleph over there. That's halacha. We don't consider a death of the community. But if one of the 71 dies, Pturim, why? He just said, for me. It's a partnership. If one of the partners dies, you don't bring it. Wait a minute, it doesn't work. Because Reb Shimon himself holds that if one of the partners dies, you keep on bringing it. So Mela, Bezin would have to keep on bringing it. Says Gemara. And I'll provide the sign. Oh, here's the case. Let's see. Right over here. They designated 2 karbanos, and then they ran away.
Look at
those rings on the floor. There's a lot of detail over there. Oh, anyway, so they got new ones. And then they shipped the new ones. And finally, they found the old ones. Look, it looks like the guy got bigger. So now, the original 2, what do you do with the original 2? They get the death penalty. They have to die a very sad death. They got lost. And you designated new ones instead of them. Yamusu Kul and everybody dies. The concept of Yiru, actually stop, you let them graze until they befall a mum, then you can redeem them. The fish ain't chatas because they hold that a chatos of the tzibur doesn't die. And Mela, over here also, shouldn't die. He's talking about Kahana. Something new now, a new concept. Their community, the Kohanim are community, and therefore they bring the carbon. Asking Gemara, so if a Kohen is considered a community, so then it comes out that anytime, let's say the Kohen's community, the Levium, Shapsi Cohen and all these and his friends, they do a chet, they're going to have to bring their own parallel davar. You'll say, yeah, oh yeah, why not? Yeah, they did it on Vera, based on the Sanhedrin, they should bring their own Shvatim, then you have more than 12 Shvatim. Now you have 13, you have Kohanim also, you have all the Shvatim plus Kohanim. No, because we're going to take out the Kohanim plus the Levim, we're going to get rid of. So then we have another problem, we have a reverse problem. How do you ever get to 12? You just took out Levi also. Enjoy. We have to see the end of the pasuk, very important, especially when it says.
Appreciate
this is the end of the pasuk, which is negetas. The kahal amim, in order to be a community, you have to have achuz, you have to have land. I probably should have. Maybe Dave, you can't do it. Well, I don't know. Where's Kobe? Kobe can't. He has a computer. We're not going to go through the whole thing. Was that in English here when I said I challenged him? No, last night. Is Hebrew or English? English, okay. Chazar, no, it's okay. No, I just wanted the word kahal in that pasuk to be highlighted. I think it'll be important. Let's see how he does it, how fast he can do it. The kahal amim. No, the point is that you have to have property in order to be a nation. As the Gemara, the question that every kid in Cheder knows how to answer. If you get rid of Levi, now you only have 11 shvatim. What do you do? Omer Abaya, if the kahal, in order to be like kahal, you have land. Omer Abaya, Ephraim and Menashe, Kiruvim and Shimon Yuli. I didn't do the math, but somebody sent me. I just saw it this morning that Ephraim and Menashe, do the math, is the same gematria as Kiruvim and Shimon, -1. So with the koilo, you add the koilo. You know about this? Yeah. Check it out. Yes. It is. Okay, how do you know? What is it then?
I don't remember.
But you remember seeing this?
My Rebbe teacher challenges to do it, and it comes out the same.
Okay. In other words, just like Reuben and Shimon are Shevet, so too are Ephraim and Menashe. So now we have 12 with Ephraim and Menashe. We have 12. Instead of one Yosef, we have Ephraim and Menashe, which equals 12. Ask the Gemara, but that's great. You're right. That they get Nachlo, they get the portion in Eretz Yisrael. But that's the Nachlo. That's great for Nachla, but not for anything else. Not for parallel davar. Says Gemara, what do you mean? They're not considered two shvatim for anything else. So it's one off, and with the kailo. That's what he said with the kailo. He said it's one off. It's pretty cool. Ephraim and Menashe, Kiruv, it's with the kaf, with the chaf, with the 20 in the beginning. No. Reuben and Shimon and Ephraim and Menashe are the same. It's ki. It's kimat. Oh, sponsors. Hold on a second before we do sponsors. What is I looking for over here? Oh, the Golim here. This I didn't even show yesterday. I guess the ram. The ram is Menashe. Okay, it's even on his degel. This is not accurate because they don't have their own degel. Ephraim has theirs. The bull. Okay.
Ease now, easy. Just calm down.
I don't know. I'm not good with the sounds. The noise. It's too much noise for me. Says Gemara, one answer is that you don't look at degel, that they get their own flag as something special. That's included in their nachla. Once you get nachla, you get a degel, you get a flag, okay. Another pshat is, cover the degalim. So what does that mean? Because if you look over here, there's only really 4, not like he depicted it, that Menashe gets there's 4 flags. East, west, north, and south, 4 flags. Now, if Ephraim and Menashe wouldn't get their flag, then it would be off. This beautiful symmetry, this 3, they would be off. So to have it nice, to give it covet, it should have a good shape, a good aesthetically appealing. Thank you. They gave them a flag. Asking Gemara,
that Yaakov's instructions that Levi should be in the middle, but should carry the Aron.
Okay. What does that have to do with covet of the degel?
I'm just saying that it's not that it was to keep the symmetry, because that was the instructions to begin with.
Right, but I'm just trying to explain the word covet. What is covet?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying that's not the reason why.
He's saying Yaakov instructed Levi should be in the center. And then you had to have the, okay.
That's a typo.
Fine. No, not really. Okay, fine. Sponsors. Yeah. Sponsored by Dar Global, specialist in international, Asiazi, anonymous. I was talking about, there's one that they're sitting and watching. One more. This is the chevra in, what is it called over there? West Hampstead. Yeah, that is Yitzi. That's Yitzi all the way on the right. Givaldik. And Glenn is the one with the white t-shirt that says 8-minute daf on it. Who's Eitlin? Which one? Oh, with the orange shirt. That's him, and who's his father? And here they are. It's really cool. To me, it's inspiring. Sitting and watching the daf, Givaldik stuff. Okay. No, just it's another element of MDY. Another Givaldik. Zog the Gemara. Ephraim and Menashe have different nasis. So that each nasi could get covered. That's why we count them. When they inaugurated the Beis Hamikdash, he had 7 days because they weren't bringing all the korbanos. That Shlomo didn't do.
Brooklyn, we machen a football reference, huh?
But in the Torah, why is it 12? We know that whole arichas in the Torah, everything is all to give honor to the nasi. At the end of the day, when you have a partnership in a chatos and one of the people dies, do you bring it or not? Is it considered chatos shemesa v'la? Toshma. So now we're going to go through these a little slower, but fast, because it's serious. There are 5 types of chatos that must die without being brought as a carbon. Vlad chatos, the offspring of a female chatos. She got pregnant after she became chatos. The offspring, there's no eitzah for it. It's on the one hand, it's part of a chatos. On the other hand, it wasn't designated as a chatos. It must die. Utmur is chatos. What's kmura? There's the old one, Rabbi Isai. A person has an animal, designates it as a carbon, and then it realizes it's a little skinny. It's not something he wants to bring to the Rebbeinu Shalom. He wants a much larger one. Oh, look at this big one, big zaftig one. So that's tmura. So you would think that's a big mitzvah what he did. No, it's a big avera. So if you do that to a chatos,
Matun is discriminating, I guess. Shchilik din, grab, they're all good.
Dies. That's the one we're talking about. Here's the new one. They made that a carbon. Fine.
Brooklyn, they also football? The only thing I know about football is when somebody turns on the TV. Oder jetzt, ich spiele fantasy football, so darf ein bisschen mithalten. You know, so I'm a little forced. So badet mich nicht, but kiek on the redneck. The Jewneck. Kiek on the Jewneck.
If the owner dies before he's able to bring it, the animal dies.
Zes, man geht mit der Stoff und jetzt ist man happy. Kiek on the schäferlich. Wie happy is it then?
And as we saw before, when it ran away, so you lost it for a moment, so you brought another chatos, you got a kapar from the new one, then you found the old one dies. The chatos shavar shnasa, and a chatos that's older than a year old must die. Now the Gemara says like this: there is no offspring of a carbon chatos of the tzibur. Shein tzibur mafrishin nekeva. It's impossible for a zachar, although in America it's possible, but usually a zachar cannot have a child.
Man lacht, weil das weiß man doch ja, der handige Welt.
They use a zachar. So let's go to the list. Hold on a second.
Whoa, Hershey. Okay. I'm doing great.
The top one is it's not on the chart when it comes to tzibur because it's a zachar. Doesn't apply. Next.
Hershey, die wissen schon, was the results von dir, okay?
You can't say the next one on the list. Why change Tmur b'tzibur? And the third one, the top 3, do not apply to a community. Because the community doesn't die, we said. She'ein tzibur mesim. The community doesn't die. Even if they all die, they don't die.
Chess players.
Now, the bottom 2, what do we do with those 2?
My quarterback at Jack Daniels for the Washington situation.
The whole got a back to that. They got lost, they brought another one, and then they found the original. Or, the one that they designated became 2 years old. What do you do? Maybe they should die. Let's learn the 2 on the bottom from the 3 on the top. It doesn't apply to the community. The bottom 2 also options. It's only spoken about a yachid and not a tzibur. As the Gemara, the top 3 is impossible, but the bottom 2 are possible. Why would I learn something that's possible or something that's impossible? Says all 5 came from the same source, from the Rebbeinu Shalom to Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai. So they're all said together in the same way. So if the top 3 don't apply, so all 5 don't apply. Have a wonderful day.
All right, another day. Then we're done. With day number 6. Phew. Okay. Tomorrow my nice Zach though. They dav Zach. So I hope it's gonna go okay. So far, will ich in the free 10:30 to 11:30. So I think I'm going to do that. And we're going to do it for Hoidius. Hoidius? Ich habe sehr lange nicht gehört von dem. Ich mache noch keinem nicht gehört von dem, es sagt, something is missing. I was trying to figure it out. And, watch my face it. Hold on. But es ist 14 Tage, sagen sie. 14 davon. We're gonna get done. Wir machen ein Siem, du. It will be kind of fun. My pleasure. Kudish. Es ist Interkudish, sagst du? Alright. Ich habe noch gewollt darauf gehen, wir machen den Daf, du. Also sind wir ins on schedule, right on time, on the budget, ahead of schedule. Wie sind wir rief das? Sie kommen in der Zeit, man darf sich segnen, man darf sagen goodbye. It's kind of cheesy no matter how many times I try, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Ich gehe mal schon für jeden, was du gewähnt, für die ganze Zeit, für die kurze Zeit, viele Dösen, aber gut sind auf andere Tabben gemacht, mit YouTube, nicht aber warum ich meine dir. Thank you. Ich gehe mal schon für alle Likers, Sharers, Commenters, and Subscribers, and Members. And a special thanks to Sally für den Sponsor in Huntington Talk. Die will sponsoren, kannst du schicken oder ein QuickPay oder kannst du schicken durch Google, a Super Chat. And yeah, so that's that. Housekeeping. Morgen is an unboxing. 10:01 in the free. Du wirst aber schicken für nächste Woche Unboxing, aber ich post the address. Morgen 8:45 in the free, going live. So we'll see you all there. That is it with housekeeping. Again, thank you all for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed, because ich hope it's definitely enjoyed. We'll see you on the next one. Peace. Also, stay kind to one another.